Missy, such a gamer. Tends to step up in these big moments.
Year 2021 World World Cup champion!
And Katrina not making the island. She will advance to the drop zone.
This tournament is not over. In second place, and Katrina Allen is your 2022 Throw Pink champion.
Holland is actually in the lead by 2 strokes with Kristen Tatar close behind.
She has hit some trees and she is out of bounds off the tee.
So we have a playoff. Oh, Kristen turns hers over.
Aggressive
She's got
angle.
Too much distance.
It's long, out of bounds.
Holland Hanley and in for her first big win.
What a round from Kristen. Really never giving anyone else a chance at this win.
Hello and welcome to the first round of 4 of the 2025 Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championships presented by Innova. We are out here at Winthrop Arena Disc Golf Course for our 4th Throw Pink Championships, I believe.
Sounds right.
I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 hot keys. And sounds right is what we're all about here in the booth, honestly. Yeah, I think 2021 was the first.
Inaugural, yeah.
Yes.
I do believe. Just real quick before we get started, you can subscribe to Disc Golf Network Pro to watch our round 2 coverage right now or watch live for the rest of the tournament. Plus, you can get a month of Disc Golf Network Pro for $10 by using the code JomezFans at the link in the description. That's JomezFans, plural. Hole 1. It's a par 3. But look at these Mandos. An early one on the right, a little bit later one on the left. You just got to get through this tunnel. Once you get through that tunnel, you're not as worried. If you hit this log right here on that the drone's flying over right now, it's outside circle 2. Kind of a fun putt to have. We started this round thinking it was going to be chillier than the days prior, but turns out it was also a ripping wind.
Pensacola, Florida, Paige, Pierce.
On this wind, it was a right to left / tailwind.
So Paige won this when they did a women's national championship version. The reason we're a little confused, or not confused, but unsure of when Throw Pink actually started is because this has always been USDGC for, how many years has it been?
27.
Wow.
California, your current Masters Worlds and Pro Worlds female champion, Scoggins.
And that historically has just been for the MPO field, though some women, including Paige, I believe, did play that event. So Paige did win the women's national championship version, which is the same course in 2020. Boy, windy out there.
Yeah, this is...
Nice little break for Owen.
Next on the box from Beacon, New York, your inaugural Throw Pink Women's Champion, Missy Gannon.
Confirmed inaugural 2021 Throw Pink champion.
This is an XA tier for us. We have the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championships that travels around regionally. But this event, while being a major for the guys, it still feels like a major while we play it, but it is an XA tier. Our ratings do not count. It's still a prestigious event to win, but the rules are not PDGA legal.
Yeah, they're crazy. If this is your first one, just wait.
Card from Finland, Iida, Lehtomäki.
So excited to watch Iida play today. Traveling across the pond to have her first crack at Winthrop Arena.
Yeah, excited to see her again. Boy, and she looks pretty comfy out here already.
Mm-hmm.
Sailing that one along, so floaty.
Yeah, so down in the parking lot, it was pretty tolerable. But once you got up on this hill, it's crazy how windy it was. And the wind was coming out of the north, so really chilly. It's not conditions that we had at all during the practice week. Even if you got here early on Thursday or Friday, you still did not get to play with this type of wind.
And it was shorts weather.
It was absolutely sweltering. So today, much chillier. And kind of a wind that we're a little bit more used to having.
Yeah, it was nice in practice to not have it. Made those stroke and distance holes seem
easy,
manageable at the very least. Let's see if Iida can capitalize on this first birdie outside the circle.
Headwind putt.
Oof.
So, looking at the stats, there were only 2 holes that averaged under par today.
Fun.
I want to say it's mostly condition based, but yeah, it was a rough day out there with the wind. But
they tightened quite a few holes and made them more difficult as well.
That's why I can't blame it all the way on the wind.
Yeah.
It is. It's definitely playing harder than we've ever seen this year. You had to qualify to get to this event, but there were a lot of qualifiers throughout the year, some smaller events as well. So we'll see names that you know. We'll see some names maybe that we're not as familiar with as well.
How many ended up playing? Hole 2 is a par 4. It's 542 feet. I like this version. It's a par 3 for the guys. I think this is a great hole for FPO. There's a mandatory on the right, but you're not really thinking about it. You're trying to get up here in this clear area past that last tree on the right we just passed. This mandatory that we passed on the left is one that you are thinking about if you're out of position, perhaps too far to hyzard with a right-hand backhand shot. This one, super reachable by everyone, but if you're a little out of position, it can be a bit dangerous to attack with that OB on the left that wraps all the way around the basket. You're going to see mostly turning shots, maybe some baby flex shots.
Yeah, this is one that you just want to crush. That second shot is the hardest part of the hole, in my opinion. We could feel that crosswind now. We're going the opposite direction of hole 1, so it's a left to right, a little bit of a headwind, making this low ceiling kind of difficult to navigate without stabling up. You can see Owen really flexing something over stable.
And it's not bad over there. You can see Paige pinned up behind that tree. Definitely not the result you're looking for. Missy looking pretty dang perfect down the center. This one's kind of fun to just unleash one.
Yeah.
Nice big turning shot, throwing it uphill.
This one played the closest to even par of the day. It was the 3rd easiest hole of the day. Definitely the most forgiving out of bounds as well, even though the second shot is tighter than you like.
It sure is. Yeah, second shot, I don't know. I kind of like ending up on the right and then throwing a forehand. It feels a little safer.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
backhand, towards the OB is like, ooh.
Yeah, because that big tree is in the perfect position. And years prior, they've had the OB on the right side along the fence, pulled off the fence pretty significantly. This year, I believe it's back close to the fence, but you still just feel the trauma of OB lines of years prior.
Missy's going to find the circle. Owen, I think, maybe just outside. Looks like Paige is far enough off this tree to still give it a go. Beautiful.
Pretty. You see a ton of circle 2 putts on this hole. It looks like, wow, 27 competitors got to circle 1 in regulation. That's huge. And 33 to circle 2. Usually there's a big jump there, but everyone's so good now.
Just an inch short on her birdie bid.
Yeah, the first 2 putts of the day, dead center, just a little low. Iida having another headwind putt and not able to capitalize. Her pacing's a little slower than we saw at the World Championships for the putt.
Good point.
Oh, Paige touches every inch of the cage, but it doesn't quite stick.
So last year, Missy's also not able to convert. Last year, Kristen Lett won this event, so obviously she is not here. So the year prior was, Holland Hanley. But I was just checking out scores last year across 4 rounds, 22 under won it, which is like pretty astonishing.
Yeah.
Usually a few under par is good enough to per round.
What's like a number 10, top 10?
Top 10. So let's see, at 15 it's even par.
Okay.
And then 13 was like 4 under. So
Okay.
top 10 would be like 7 under across 4 rounds. So usually a couple under per round is gonna do you really well out here.
I do believe too last year we had some really consistently calm,
Yeah,
nice
it
conditions.
was very nice. Yeah, maybe I'll look up the year prior actually. Stand by.
Hi, what's up guys? It's Paul. I'm here to tell you that today's video is sponsored by Vessi. Some of my favorite features that Vessi gives you is they are waterproof, not water resistant, waterproof. Big difference there, keep your foot completely dry. Of course, when you find a shoe, you want comfort. That's exactly what Vessi gives you. It's the most comfortable shoe that I've ever played in. When we're playing on the tour, we're playing a lot of rounds. We're covering a lot of ground. So you need to make sure that you have a comfortable shoe, and that's exactly what Vessi gives you. So you have comfort, they're also waterproof, but the most important part about having a great shoe on tour is the grip. These work well on concrete, turf, fairway, bad situations, best grip that I've ever had as far as a shoe goes. I started wearing Vessi Stormburst this year. I absolutely fell in love with them. You can get them in the high top, the low top. Like I said already, that the grip is fantastic and they look pretty cool too. If you want to give Vessi a shot, you can get 15% off your first order. All you have to do is go to vessi.com/JomezPro. That's vessi.com/JomezPro for 15% off.
Hole 3 of a slightly newer hole to us. They changed the out of bounds a little bit this year as well. A little bit friendlier actually on the first shot, but on the second shot, it is exciting. The tee shot, you just want to rip something and make sure it lands left. You can obviously find out of bounds in the road, but most players not too worried about that, just trying to avoid those 2 bubbles in the middle. The second shot, ideally, you would like to get at least to the ditch right around the Mando. If you can get farther than that, cool, but the big arms are the ones that are eyeing that shot up. If you are out of position on your second shot, the third can be really, really tough to get to the green. You don't see a ton of birdies on this hole, and when you do get it, you feel really good.
Yeah, not my favorite change. It just feels less attackable. I do like this line that Paige is taking. Last year, you were seeing everyone go through the gap. Now, up and over seems to make sense. If you get too aggressive, you're just going to find that OB a lot easier.
I never would have thought to do this
up
and
really?
over, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
because that gap's like pretty small, and then if you like really pipe it, you'll find that left side OB, you know?
Wow, everyone's doing it.
Yeah. It's easy.
The gap's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're not throwing a distance driver, but it is nice to be farther off the tee on this hole. It's super important if you're trying to put yourself in position for birdie.
Ooh, uh-oh. Iida knows out of her hand, has quite a bit of turn on it, and it actually progresses pretty nicely for a ways, but that's going to be, she'll be really happy with a scramble for par from there.
Yeah, that right side rough is very grown in.
Plus, I mean, she's still in danger of landing out of bounds if she's not careful. That new skinny strip they put in is pretty mean. Yeah.
No.
There's that original. We've had this little circle here the whole time we've been playing, I believe.
And the circle's a little bit smaller this year, which is nice.
That is nice. But yeah, that new skinny strip.
Owen's flying over at the top of it right now. You can tell she's not trying to push as much to the right as you would like. Really trying to avoid it. It's very easy to accidentally find yourself out of bounds on the very far tip of that OB.
Is this in the right position?
Yes.
Today, do you know the order of?
I think it's ABBA is what I heard someone say today, but that's another probable stat from the 2 hockeys.
ABBA, probably. They put in a new pin position to the left. That's pretty wild.
Missy going big here. Love that. She is going to filter off to the left. And you see this all the time on players trying to get aggressive, but she's in the ditch and she may have a forehand from there.
Paige in a good position to attack.
That Mando tree she's trying to avoid is on the right. She's going to come up just short of it.
Be a tricky angle, but she's definitely good for par.
There you can see that Mando tree to the right of Owen's disc. She's trying to get a hyzer forehand all the way there, and unfortunately she's going to find the new hay bales. This used to be a really low limmy tree grouping of trees right there. Honestly, the whole green was a lot limmier than it is now.
Limmier.
They've really cleared a lot of the lower stuff out and then added these hay bales and those little trees.
Yeah, it's like unrecognizable, the green.
Yeah,
it's wild.
It's kind of a confusing change in my opinion, to take away and then add stuff, but you know, we'll see how it progresses over the years.
Math.
Yeah. Math. And this, you see players with this shot so often. It's really difficult to even get into circle 2 when you're pinched on that Mando tree. Here's Paige going to work up the right side. This did not used to be an option.
Yeah, so limmy.
Look at all the little nubs on the trees.
Yeah, these trees were decimated.
Yeah, they were.
Iida just laying up for a double.
I kind of wonder if it was a mistake. Like someone was like, "Oh yeah, trim it up, make it look nice," and then they got there and they're like, "Oh no,
What happened?
Oh no,
what are we seeing?
Oh, did she land on top of it?
I have questions.
How did she get up there?
Yeah, that's the first question.
They're tall. They're taller than Owen.
Wow, I've never seen anything quite like that. XA tier.
Yeah, huh? XA tier. Classic Winthrop.
Nice birdie.
Missy 1 of 10 birdies today. More than we usually see on this hole, and pretty awesome. Paige with a nice par save, scrambling up that right side.
Owen after most interesting putt of the year, I'd argue. At least put it in the running. Iida taking a double, which happens quick out here.
That whole averaged at half a stroke over par. That's blowing my mind, which only puts it in the 7th most difficult hole. Oof. It played rough out there today.
Yeah.
Over half the field taking a bogey or worse, and almost a quarter taking a double bogey or worse. Oof.
Winthrop is quite the mental challenge. Hole 4, par 3, 249 feet. I believe this mandatory is new from last year. So
it was a little bit earlier than it is now.
Yeah, right. It was on the tree before, so you just had to get out of the tunnel. So you saw a lot of people kind of working the left side. Now you really have to go straight up the gut. You can go backhand or forehand. It's really difficult to make it all the way there if you miss the mandatory. It's a pretty tricky little drop zone. There's no out of bounds, which is nice. But I think this will play significantly harder with that mandatory tree being, what, 50 feet later?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. They also did clear the right side late a
True.
little bit. So that's nice because you can kind of work that side if you want. Or you can just go right down the middle and take your birdie like we see Silvasarin in here.
So pure.
2 down through 4. You are happy with that at Winthrop.
Yeah, with that mandatory change, them kind of limbing up that right side does help quite a bit. You're right. Pretty.
Wow, Missy.
We know she's always good for a dead straight shot.
Is that she thrashing here? No.
I think that's a cicada. I'm double checking. Yep.
Cicada.
Big Z cicada.
Beautiful. And you can see the wind still just absolutely ripping through the course. It was kind of a head right to left here. Paige hitting the Mando tree. We'll see what angle she's working with.
Probably going to be like a kneeling sidearm around the tree. Something crazy.
Oh, and we're going to forehand.
I like this play with the change of the mandatory. Feels safer. Doesn't quite work out for her, but.
Iida, ooh, narrowly missing the one tree to avoid. She's going to turn it over onto the right side. I like this play a lot. Sometimes you're even left with a putt. Oh, man, yeah, Paige kicked a little more left than we were hoping for. Forehand roller?
Yeah, she's been throwing these a lot
she throws
recently.
them,
like, she's really good at these.
She throws them with her dog. And
That's awesome, actually.
yeah, one day she realized like, oh, I actually should probably stop using this dog frisbee and just start using my disc so that I can pull it out during the round.
That's great. And Paige gonna find circle 2. I'm just gonna lay up.
Pretty.
Yeah, we haven't seen Iida throw too many forehands, but every time she does, they're great.
Paige with a big comeback putt deep in circle 2.
Good height, but misses right.
And you can see how calm the wind is all of a sudden. It was pretty gusty out there today. It felt sustained when you're near the lake, but on the rest of the course, it would be just random crazy gusts. Paige with a tricky comeback putt for bogey.
Good one. So important to minimize the damage out here, even more than most places.
Missy just right on the edge of the bullseye here.
Looking comfy.
Yeah, for such a good birdie. 1 of 8 today.
Nice. Oh, I did look up 2023. The scores were about the same.
Okay. Sweet.
And I can't remember the weather conditions 2 years ago, but Holland Hanley winning with 23 down, tying Kristen Led, doing the playoff, but then all the way down to 10th place with 6 down. So the leaders really needing to push, but under par is probably going to get you a top 10.
Here it is, the legendary hole 5. 794, but just all kinds of stuff in between. This tee shot is incredibly difficult. You're throwing right at the lake and you need it to come back to the right. You see forehands, I think is the safest play, but a lot of players throwing backhand so they can get some good distance. Your second shot, some players land right where the drone turned left and headed over the lake. Other players try to go big distance on their second shot and play around the corner. There's a mandatory in effect for the MPO, but for FPO, we are allowed to go around that mandatory to the left. You can see the flagpole in that grouping of trees on the left side of the screen right now. It's just player's choice here. We had a right to left crosswind, sometimes a little bit tail, sometimes a little bit head. What Missy's doing right here, it feels so incredibly risky, but she does a great job managing the angle and height.
And getting past that ditch that gives you such bad footing.
It sure does.
But nice that it's a relief area this year.
So they really pinched in the OB on both the left and right sides of the fairway. It used to be the water, but now it's anywhere from 5 to 8 feet off the water's edge. And then on the right side, it used to be just along the road, so you could find yourself dealing with those trees, but now it's right at the tree line. Iida gonna be pushing that OB line big time.
I actually like that change, though, on the right. Just because, yeah, if you had to go from the road and you had a tree right in your way, it was like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Iida, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do something from there.
Paige also messing with that. Oh, she gets a little cut roll out. So Iida deciding here whether to go around. I'm willing to bet she's just going to try to put herself in position to go across on her third shot. That took a lot of steam off the disc. She's still probably sitting around 350 or 360 from the basket right now.
Definitely a little more than you want.
Paige with that awkward footing in the ditch.
She's going to lay up with her fierce.
Yeah, she doesn't need to bite off too much here because she does have that good control distance to go across the water. Missy in prime position. It flattens out nicely on the left side of the landing area.
And it's kind of nice to just be able to throw a hyzer and not worry too much about it. That should be good.
This played as the third most difficult hole of the day, averaging at almost 0.8 over par. I can't decide if it's difficult because we're all like replaying the hole fives of years past, or if it's actually that hard of a hole. Because
combo.
It is a combo. Because you can disc down in just like mid fairway, but it's just, we've all seen our disc plop into the water so many times.
Yeah, even Paige gonna go out and around.
Yeah.
Which I like in the early rounds. Back when the pin was farther off the water, I liked going across, but now that it's so close, it doesn't quite feel worth it. Like, it's just an easy par generally and not a birdie if you go across.
Yeah, Iida going super safe here, making sure she's across on the right side.
Well done.
And leaving herself a circle 2 putt, which is what we see with players usually going over the water.
Nice to see a player without the trauma. Missy. Oh, no. And I don't know that that crossed.
He says...
He says yes.
Yeah.
That's good. Having to rethrow that shot really can do a number on you, if you can't tell by what we're saying.
Yeah.
Owen with the flex.
And
So good.
Winthrop is a classic course for strokes stacking wildly. It's like once you make one mistake, it's not just a single bogey. You just all of a sudden find yourself like working your butt off to try to save a double or even a triple.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a place where mistakes compound quickly.
Yeah, definitely a lot of tension and nerves out there, you know?
Especially in the wind. Here's Missy trying to save a par. She's in circle 2 and doesn't give it quite as aggressive of a bid as she needs.
I mean, how far is the water behind that?
So close.
Less than 10 feet.
Yeah, bullseye edge. Looks like only 12 competitors managed to get to circle 2 in regulation for birdie. Own one of only 3 to get to circle 1.
What an impressive birdie. Remember that she had that shot last year, that forehand shot that squeaked
skipped
in?
off the water.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It was skipped off the water looking like it was like an Anheuser angle.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Own one of only 3 birdies on the day today. So impressive. The others from Evelina Salonen and Katie Tati.
And a bunch of bogeys, pretty typical on the 5th, but at least they're only singles.
Yeah, half the field bogeying and 20% with a double or worse. And that's just this stage. That's just how it is out here.
Hole 6, the beach hole. It's par 3, 282 feet. OB water on the left, OB string line on the right. You can kind of see where the grass gets a little bit taller. You see a lot of ladies kind of push that right side and then hyzer in, often getting the ground play, ideally kind of landing in this nice beach area, also known as the Florida hole. This is where Madison spends all her spare time when she's not playing, just feet in the sand, waving the competitors on, play through, it's cool. Checking in with Silva Saarinen again. If you miss, it's a drop zone from circle 2 directly at the water.
I love this play. Putting it out wide right and playing the skip all the way into the sand.
Perfect. Exactly how you draw it up.
Weird to see someone wearing sweatpants to the beach, though. That must be a European thing.
It's sweatpants and then nothing underneath, actually, is the play.
Look at this shot. Owen Scoggins, master of angles. Perfect hole to highlight her skills.
Yeah, so well done. Beautifully set up.
This hole it places the easiest hole of the day, but it's absolutely not an easy shot, especially for players that can overthrow this really easily. The distance players definitely having a hard time navigating that OB line deep.
Missy finding the beach as well. Yeah, I've always liked this one. Oop. Looks stable enough, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Love the little filter effect down onto the sandy area. This one of the 2 holes averaging under par.
Did they ask you to leave just while lead card or feature card came through to get off the green?
Yeah, they made me wrap up my towel.
That's kind of a brutal break for Paige. Instead of putting from 20 or 25 feet away, she has this circle 2 look with a lot of wind.
And she's running it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a save. So sick. I love making that putt.
I know, it's so fun.
Remember one year we went back to back? We both made it?
Yeah.
On the same card. Probably not this windy, though. That is a gutsy putt, and it pays off for Paige.
Yeah, like Erika said earlier, anywhere where you can just keep bogey strokes away by making those big putts is huge. It's going to make such a big difference as you move into the more challenging part of the course, which is every hole for the rest of the day.
Yep. It's funny because this one kind of feels like a breath of fresh air, but it's like, well, if you go OB and miss the drop zone, you're like, oh, wait a second.
Whoopsie.
Whoops.
Everyone being so careful on the green not to mess up the artwork. So cute. And really great showing from our feature card on the beach hole.
Annalie Tuga's leading the way at 4 down through 6. Wow.
Whoa.
The GOAT is back on top. This guy is not just back, he's in charge. Amazing to see this guy come back after the injuries he dealt with in 23 and 24 and really put together an incredible season.
Your 2025 Discraft Green Mountain champion, Lehtomäki.
Hole 7, the famous bamboo hole, 284 feet, and the triple Mando is not until you get to about 255 feet. It is so far away and so small, but navigable. If you do miss the Mandos on the right and left side of the bamboo wall and top side, there are those 2 little dots you can see on the whole preview on the right side of the screen. Those are the drop zones. You can throw forehands from there. You can throw sometimes rollers. You can try to navigate the putt on the underneath the wall. Very fun challenge, this hole, and you can see all kinds of crazy stuff.
Pretty typical Silva hitting the side of the bamboo, getting the good kick and having a look. Not an easy one, but she capitalizes. She's 4 down.
Wow, what a putt. Yeah, we had a DJ in the tent on the stage today, and I'm not going to lie, I think it gave me an advantage. I think it gave everyone an advantage. Look at Own dancing her way onto the tee pad.
Uh-oh, she threw it. I think she too hard because she was so jazzed. Parked it, though. Missy notoriously hates music, so she probably won't throw this one too hard.
I love how she kept that nice and low.
Obviously, I'm joking. So just no one freak out. She's probably normal and likes music.
Iida trying to flip up the putter. We saw her throw earlier in the round on hole 1. She's in a good spot, though, if you're going to miss.
Yeah, always nice to kick straight off the wall. Paige going to be too far right and hopefully short enough to be able to throw it, but sometimes you get over there and it's forehand roller territory, but we know she's good for that.
Even though we had a tailwind on the hole today, it still didn't feel any easier. You'd rather a tailwind than a headwind, but it's still adds an element.
Paige in a similar kind of stance and position to what Silva just did, a bit farther back. Good angle, but too low.
There were only 12 birdies on this hole, almost a quarter of the field. That's pretty typical for what we see. This hole scores really well for FPO.
Missy catching some left side high chains, not able to convert.
Nice comeback putt, though, keeping her around at 2 under par. Owen going to have to settle with the only bogey on feature card today.
Wow.
5 down through 7?
That's wild. And Silva, Hannah, Wynn, also 4 down. So good. Hole 8 is a par 5, 697 feet. At that distance, very attackable, but look at all this out of bounds. You see a few different shot shapes through this first line of trees. If you can get past all of them, you are navigating this very narrow pinch point. There's OB left along the whole way, but especially kind of early left. There's a mandatory on the right that you're not super thinking about, but you do absolutely have to go down that tunnel. I like backhand followed by a forehand on the second, but you can make a backhand work on the second as well. If you do 2 perfect shots, you're usually left with a relatively short final approach, which is really nice. Often kind of a skip shot, though, into the green, which is pretty well guarded. Mess up any of them, and boy, you can really find some trouble.
You sure can. Have we seen eagles on this hole?
I was just trying to think of that, and I don't think so. Like, maybe
I think we've
like
seen some bids.
long, like 100-foot bids, but I don't believe we've seen an actual one. That's a great spot.
Yeah, great positioning from Iida.
I like the hyzer line, but you see almost as many just kind of go flex up the gut.
It's crazy, though, that tree that you can see Paige just missing short side of.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
That was a huge shot.
Yeah, that tree is in the perfect position for a lot of the FPO distance drives to land. So you're thinking about it the whole time. Paige with some really unfortunate, huge ground play. And she's going to find the OB on the left side, even after going as far right as possible.
The ground is much drier than we're used to seeing. So normally that wouldn't have skipped so far left. But, you know, there's kind of been droughts everywhere. And we're seeing a lot of these big skips.
Own using the backboard, there's a fence on the left side that can hold your disc in bounds. You don't really have to throw a touchy shot there. Just make sure it's low coming into that fence area. Missy gonna try to cover a little more ground.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Gets the good bounce. And I mean, she's just outside circle 2. So, eagly.
Mm-hmm.
Light eagle light.
Eagly.
Iida lined up really well, actually, to get inside at least circle 2, but she leaves that really low and is fortunate to stay in bounds. This is Paige drive. Look at how far it is. Like, she could still birdie. Ooh, roller.
I love this play. Oh, this is good.
This is good.
Oh.
Oh. Wow.
Wow.
What a play. All right. And OB Birdie's also feeling kind of eagly.
Yeah.
Iida showing us. Oh. That was both of us at the same time. Her forehand.
Yeah. That was weird.
Own showing. Oh, I thought we were.
I was trying to remember. It feels. Oh man, what a roll. Ugh. It feels like this shot into the green is a little bit easier than it's been in years prior. I think they definitely trimmed this bush on the left side that we just saw Missy throw right next to. There used to be a lot more low branches there that made it tough, but something about this shot is playing a little bit easier than years past, and you can see that on the scorecard. It played as the second easiest hole of the day.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
People figuring it out.
Mm-hmm. It is a little bit of a softer par 5, but still it's not usually one of the easier holes.
Yeah, I like that it's shorter but still very technical. Wow, it stayed up there for a second. And I mean, we saw that big roll away from Own. It's not like there's still a lot to navigate. A lot of challenges.
Paige right behind the one guardian tree. Oh, her putt's framed up. She just comes up low on the cage.
And that's such a bummer. I mean, par's still a great save, but she threw 2 phenomenal shots. You'd like to see that be rewarded a bit better. And that's an uncharacteristic miss from Iida.
Yeah, she's kind of struggling on the green a little bit today. She's ironed it out the last couple of holes.
A little bit in her head on the green.
No, I don't
Boy,
I don't wish
just sit there.
I don't wish the fear on the younger players.
Yeah, don't just sit there.
Not yet.
You can't.
Give her another year.
And Missy converting a really great birdie there. Do you think she's still sitting there?
This putt is so weird. You're so high above the basket. There were 13 birdies on hole 8, and it's the second easiest hole of the day. So that shows you how hard it is to get birdies and string them together out here. Oh yeah, that's the only other hole that averaged under par.
Is this Iida's first time playing an American tournament?
Oh.
This is like a brutal trial by fire scenario, if that's true. It's probable.
I'll look it up.
Wow. I only drew us 6 down through 8.
Wrapping up the front 9 with this new hole. We played this tee pad before, but we played the basket on the right side. You can see the B position over there. Today we are playing the A position, a new position for us in the FPO field, and I believe just in general for both fields. They shortened this tee shot for us, I don't want to say substantially, but what, 30 or 40 feet, I believe, from years prior. And I love the change. I think it's great. It does make the layup play a lot more difficult, which I don't love. You have to navigate this big structure on the right side. So we're going to see a lot more players going for it, but the wind was pretty brutal today. It was a right to left crosswind, and it was about as strong as you see it on the course on this hole in particular. Missy erroring to the right side. There's more room over there, but the OB is still on the deep side all the way across the back of the hole. So you can find it regardless of whether you go right, left, or straight at the basket. The out of bounds is circle's edge on the short side and 15 feet on the deep side. So really tough and touchy hole.
Yeah, Paige like 5 feet from it with a perfect shot. And then that drop zone's pretty gnarly too. It's one that
I forgot about the drop zone.
The stroke and distance drop zone too. So if you land out of bounds, you have to just keep throwing from the drop zone.
Yeah, you can see Owen working that layup play. She's probably kind of close to the drop zone over there. And is it just stroke and distance? Like you just keep throwing until you're safe?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
I did not know that.
It's pretty bad. Mostly just because in that longer position, that OB deep comes up very quick. Iida with a beautiful drive. So same thing, if Owen is out of bounds here, it's previous lie or drop zone. And I did not know she was going to land out of bounds, but was just trying to demonstrate this is a highly consequential shot. Here she is from the drop zone now throwing 4.
Oh, Iida played this event last year.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she got 33rd.
So she knows.
She knows.
And sit. See, look at, oh, that's crazy.
Last year was when she moved up from AMS. So, yeah.
You think Missy practiced from here? Kind of an odd spot. It's a good play, especially with the wind today, to go over to that right side.
You can see Missy really taking her time, though, because that OB is so close behind the basket.
Yeah, and she leaves it a little short with a tree in the way, but I think she's good for it. Paige for a birdie.
Paige, yeah, that OB is, if she misses the basket, even if you hit the basket, you can find the out of bounds on the deep side.
And then it's a reputt.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing for Iida. Missy with a really nice putt for her par, 3 down through 9.
Wow, this plate is the 4th most difficult hole of the day. It played easier in years prior because the layup play was a lot more doable, and we also didn't have that stroke and distance. So, like, you'd see more players playing safe. But
layup for birdie, too, as a par 4.
Oh, it was a par 4.
Yeah, so it is eagles and birdies. I think this was usually the easiest hole in the course. So that's kind of crazy shift, honestly.
Well, they really upped the ante this year.
They sure did.
There was only 4 birdies on this hole today. Yulia Fours on my card got it from Circle 1. It was so impressive. Rebecca Dawn, Anniken Sten, and Cynthia Klesberga. Really, really good birdies on that one.
Looks like 2 under par and lower is good enough for the top 8. Yeah, playing tough out there. As it does.
Yeah, everyone on the course today was just like, man, we're fine with the wind, but I wish we could have practiced it with this type of wind. Because we had the calmest, most south wind,
pleasant,
summery days leading up to this event. That is pretty classic. So we do have 9 more holes, and it just keeps getting harder and harder. We're going to run into the hardest holes of the day, I believe, in the next handful. So come back. Hang with us on the back 9. We still also have 3 more rounds after this, so we'll see you guys a bunch this week. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the 2 Hot Geeks.
Honk.
And don't forget, we made it. We love you. Bye.